welcome to the Citizen channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. I've got a History Boys feature today, and I'm going to take you back to 1980. Yes, the 20th of December 1980, so almost Christmas time on today's History Boys feature. And it's concerning Manchester City at home at Main Road against Leeds United. Yeah, one of the classics as I was growing up, the 60s and 70s. By 1980, it was still a reasonably big game. City against Leeds. It was always a big game in the late 60s and 70s when Leeds were very, very good at that stage, and so was City, of course. But we're going to go back to the 20th of December 1980. John Bond was in his second month in charge. After obviously a certain other gentleman, we'll talk about him in a minute, had left us. So John Bond was well into his second month in charge. He'd won 6 of his 11 league games, so he'd done all right. He'd got us through. I think we only played one game. We got through to the semi-final of the League Cup as well. So things were going okay. And obviously, the West Yorkshire outfit stood 18th out of 22 before Leeds came into town, 18th. So it wasn't too bad. We were a little bit lower than that, obviously, when he took over. And Leeds themselves were managed by an ex-player. They were managed by a legend. Yeah, he was a legend. Alan Sniffer Clarke. Yeah, that was his nickname, a great goal scorer. He was only 36 when he took over at Leeds. And he was only in his third month in charge, so he'd only had another month longer than John Bond had. And he was Leeds' 5th manager in 6 years. And Leeds were placed just 2 places and 2 points above City in 16th. So they were 16th and we were 18th. Away from football, I was working at GEC Trafford Park at the time, and I've not checked back, but I mean, the following September obviously will be the birth of my first daughter. But obviously, as I say, that was about 9 months away from this, so I don't think it's anything to do with this game, guys. But I certainly wasn't aware at that point in time that I would be starting my family within the next year, if you like. And of course, away from football, less than 2 weeks before this was the sad news that come from the USA that music legend John Lennon had been shot dead in America. So this was just about 12 days before this game. And in response, obviously, over here in the UK, the number one in the charts was John Lennon himself, who just like starting over. That was actually number one in the UK singles charts. As far as the albums were concerned, one of my favourite groups, not everyone's favourite group, one of my favourite groups, ABBA. ABBA's Super Trooper was top of the album charts as well. I think they'll stay top over Christmas. The Empire Strikes Back, you remember The Empire Strikes Back? That was the biggest grossing film that year, so that was packing them in at the cinema. And if you had £1 in December 1980, it'd be worth about £3.97 now, so there you go. So stick £1,000 in the bank, you'd have 3,970. Doesn't sound as impressive, that, does it? There you go. Back to football. The match day programme was at 30p, just for 24 pages. There's not as big as they are these days. In the not so popular with me anyway, landscape mode, the sort of length mode, there'll be an image on the screen. It actually featured in action Joe Corrigan and Kevin Reeves on the cover. City Travel Club, that was going then. That was a big thing to be in, was running coaches up and down the country. I mean, places like Coventry was at £4.50 for the coach from there. Actually, it was there and back. It wasn't just there. To Coventry was £4.50. Arsenal was £7 on the coach, and Ipswich and Norwich, obviously always linked together, always very similar journeys, weren't they? Was £7.75. So there you go. You wouldn't get as far nowadays for that, would you? With that, petrol would probably get you about 20 miles of petrol, wouldn't it, for that sort of price? John Bond was about to receive the Manager of the Month award. That usually meant a poor display, didn't it? But I won't give too much away to say, well, we didn't. It didn't let us down this time, fortunately. And City were gearing up, of course, for the visit to Liverpool. I did mention we'd made the League Cup semi-final. And that was going to be the first leg at Main Road, the middle of the following January. And ironically as well, they'd just done the FA Cup draw, the third round of the FA Cup draw for early January. And we'll see, obviously, the visit of Crystal Palace. And I did say I'd mention him, didn't I? Managed, of course, by the predecessor of John Bond, Malcolm Allison. Obviously, that was just around the corner. Attendance that day at Main Road, a bit of a dark. Well, it's 20th of December. It's not going to be all sun, is it, guys? And it's a bit of a dull day. Obviously, 31,866, which is about 500 down on the average so far that season. So it was okay. It was fine. City's team that day was Corrigan, Ranson, McDonald, Reid, Booth, Power, Gow, Boyer, Mackenzie, Hutchinson, and Reeves. And the sub was Tony Henry. Yeah, he came on in the first half after about 29 minutes. I'm not sure who got injured, but he came on in the first half. Leeds, yeah, if you look at Leeds' team, some well-known names in this one. John Lukic was in goal. Brian Greenough, Eddie Gray, Brian Flynn, Paul Hart, of course, the son of City legend Johnny Hart, Trevor Cherry, Carl Harris, Kevin Hurd, Terry Connor, Alex Sabella, Arthur Graham, and the sub was a certain Derek Parlane. He wasn't used in this game, but obviously he was signed for City in 1983, so the sub for Leeds was Derek Parlane. Of course, we would go on and get a win in this one, just a close encounter. Would win from a stunning shot, a volley from Kevin Reeves from the edge of the area. Leeds had defended doggedly in this game, a little bit on Mr. John Bonds during the second all game. But with time running out and all 11 Leeds players in their own third, which was probably for most of the game, a Henry ball was found McDonald, who's crossed to the edge of the box, was chested coolly down by Reeves on the edge, and he just came into the 18-yard box and welded it home, and that was like the final minute of the game as well. So it was a great victory in the last minute. Of course, this would actually move City level on points with Leeds, but 3 places above now. We had a far better goal difference, or goal against goal average at the time. We were actually in 14th then, City's highest league position in the last 12 months. So that shows how things deteriorated a little bit under old Malcolm, of course. In the match day programme notes for the next game at home, the City versus Wolves match on the 27th of December 1980, John Bond was, I'll just say as we come back to the game, and Leeds United themselves. Obviously, Allan Clarke was a forward, a striker, but obviously his Leeds team were a little bit more defensive, let's say. And John Bond was less than complimentary about Leeds' style in the matchday programme. And it is my view by John Bond, which was his little column about the Leeds style of football and Allan Clarke. And I quote what he said: "Against Leeds, I thought the Blues were magnificent, though it was a desperately late moment when we won the game through that tremendous Kevin Reeves shot on the turn. Leeds were very well organised, very, very defensive, and terribly difficult to break down. When we attacked them incessantly in the opening phase of the match, I felt we deserved a break. When it didn't happen in the game, it became very tense, and the difficulties of getting in on goal increased. You've got to give credit to Leeds for making it so tight. My personal view is that the Leeds approach is a disgraceful way to play soccer." Soccer? Well, I think he might have links in America, this guy. "Having players of the quality of Brian Flynn, Alex Sabella, Arthur Graham, Eddie Gray, etc., you'd think they'd try and utilise those talents. What a waste. Surely to God the name of the game is to play different to the style they adopted. That attitude, getting men behind the ball all the time, he wouldn't like now, would he, Mr. Bond? Could eventually spell the end of the word entertainment in soccer. I thought it was a victory blow for the game that we did win it. The more often those type of team tactics are defeated, the less temptation there will be to adopt them. I recall our keeper Joe Corrigan having just one save of sorts to make in the whole 90 minutes. They never posed a threat to us at any time." Yeah, so far from complimentary about Mr. Allan Clarke's team, Leeds United, to say, but we did get the 1-0 win. Clarkey did actually manage to get Leeds finishing above us that season. So obviously, even though we went above them for that game, by the end of the season, Leeds had finished an okay ninth position. Although the following season, it sort of run out, and Allan Clarke's luck run out, and they were relegated the following season. Of course, Allan Clarke lost his job, and they were on the search for another manager. It sounds like another club not far away, that, doesn't it? So, despite City finishing okay in 12th, of course, this season would be remembered for a couple of League Cup semi-finals where we were robbed. Basically, we should have got through to the League Cup final, but we were robbed by poor refereeing decisions celebrations in that game against Liverpool over 2 legs, and of course an FA Cup final appearance which ended in tears for us as well after a replay. But all looked okay. Say finishing 12th, a couple of semi-final and a final. All looked okay under manager John Bond, didn't it? And it looked okay for the future. But hey, there you go. Thanks for watching this little History Boys feature in and around the 20th of December 1980. Manchester City 1, Leeds United 0. We're going to do rest day. Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More important, let's all look after each other. So meet here again on the Citizen channel. Perhaps have a look at my, if you get a chance, please, got a rest from football, have a look at my film and TV channel. I try and inform and entertain on there as well. So if you can have a look on there, that'd be much appreciated. If it's not, if it's back on here, I only ask one thing, guys, don't I? Until we meet again, please, stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.